listening to the Truth Force podcast, bro.
Yes, people. Good evening. It's your host, Mr. Geniusman.
And I'm your host, Verbz.
How are you today, Verbz? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, my bro. Man's just here, been a bit of a busy day, man. You know what I mean? So, got a little bit of peace, all the busyness slowed down probably like half an hour before we recorded, but, give thanks to God, man. Man's here, innit? So, yeah, man, ready to crack on, bro.
Yeah, man. Boy, people, this is a different one today. We're going to touch on the Southport situation that happened with those 8 children. Oh, boy, Verbz, what a time, man, to live. What a time to live.
Bare madness going on in the world, Mr. Genius. Bare madness, you know what I mean? It's quite eye-opening, man. It's quite shocking. Like, I've been spending a few days off of social media, because celebrating my birthday and little man's birthday and that, plus the combination of being busy with other things like a little bit of work and this and that and whatever. And every time I turn on social media and that, like daily, I just get shocking news, bro. It's like every day there's a big event that takes place, man. It's just bloody crazy times, cuz.
Yeah, so people, don't know if the majority may have heard today, there was 8 young children that were stabbed today in, I believe it was a nursery or after school club. And, just obviously see a recent update. Earlier when I found out one child had died, one child had been killed. And then when I checked about the last hour or so, that death toll has risen to 2. Now, we're yet to find out the identity of this individual that has committed this atrocity. And it's absolutely disgusting. It's a tragedy, man. Innocent children. I don't know what the hell is going on, people, man. And once again, I'll say this: like, you have to make sure, man. You see, when you leave your house, you pray. You see what I mean? Pray when you go out. Pray when you get in. You just never know, man. That could have been any of us that could have happened to have lived in Southport. You see what I mean? So, my prayers go out to the family of all those 8 children, even for the ones that are injured. Verbz, something needs to be done, man.
Yeah, 100%, man. Definitely in addition to what you just said as well, our hearts go out to the people that work at the establishment where this incident took place as well, all the locals. So, I mean, it's not an easy thing to deal with. From what I was hearing, I didn't look into it too tough because I didn't have the time, but I touched on it a little bit. You know what I mean? And what I was hearing was that, it's quite a graphic scene. Do you know what I mean? Parents and children coming out covered in blood and stuff like that. I don't know what the motive was behind this, but interestingly enough, Genius, I was listening to a radio station covering this today, and they were speaking to some sort of local politician close to that area. And the man was saying, this is what strikes me, because you know what? Nobody should be left to be harmed by a maniac with a weapon, yeah? Whatever color you are, creed, culture, age, all the differences, no matter what, nobody should be left in a vulnerable situation like that, you know what I mean? But I just find it very alarming that, when it ends up in certain situations and it's different, the non-usual people that people would say are victims of, a knife frenzied attack. This MP geezer was basically saying that the government now needs to pull their heads together and ensure that nobody is ever harmed by a knife again and nobody is able to have access to these knives again. And it saddens me that, obviously these kids being hurt definitely saddens me. But it saddens me that there's other children, teenagers in suburban areas who look like, like they're just maniacs and doing it. But it's how can I explain it? It's systematically, there's reasons why kids from urban areas are involved, because there's mass poverty in those areas and so on. There's no youth clubs. There's no police. Police only come to stop and search. People are living in poor living environments. Do you know what I mean? There's all kinds of factors that go into it. And yet when a totally different demographic of people are harmed by knife crime, all of a sudden these MPs are coming out saying that they want to end to it all and more stop and search and whatever to ensure. You know what I mean? Like, I just find it saddening. Surely, no matter who you are, how old you are, anybody that's touched by a knife, the same determination to get rid of the problem should be present with anyone that it happens to.
Totally agree. And, it seems that it's only, because the situation happened, it's now they want to, tackle this knife crime. Look how long this knife crime has been going on for.
Exactly my point.
Well over a decade. So it just goes to show you that, you know what? They're not interested, man. And I feel that there's a bigger agenda at work with this situation now. Does that mean? Because to be quite honest with you, things have got out of hand now. You see what I mean? We're at a place now where it's gone way too far now. When they should have initially tackled this situation and dealt with it effectively, they didn't. They weren't interested. You see what I'm saying? They weren't. And, because it's not been dealt with seriously, and this situation has been allowed to escalate for so long, there's not really any repercussions. There's no deterrent. That's why these youths will continue to stab each other. Their ages will continue to get younger and younger. And because there's not any real punishment, and these prison systems are a form of holiday camp. Because when these youths go to prison, they got access to televisions. There's no deterrent. There's nothing there for them to say, you know what, it was such a horrific experience. You're not finding me in prison again. You know why? There's no TV. There's no mobile phone. You're just in that cell with your toilet, and you've only got access to a magazine or a book. But other than that, you're probably allowed out for an hour a day. Other than that, back in your cell. You see, if they did this thing where, or even like Supermax, you see people's whole mentality change. You see what I mean? Because when you're restricted to a point where you were someone that had freedom and that freedom has now been taken, you used to, the things like the television, mobile phone, freedom, doing what you want. But now you've gone to this place of punishment where you have to serve time for the crime that you committed, and you're severely restricted. You're limited as to what you can do. It'll mess up your head. You just, I mean, you will be in a mindset of, I don't want to ever go back to that place. But you know what it is? They make these prison systems now like a holiday camp. So yeah, I can stab a few people. Light work. That's why you see a lot of them in the newspapers posing up. Yeah, light work. Man will land road soon. Yeah, it's nothing. Gloating. Do you know how much pictures I've seen in the papers where this person's got a 20-year sentence and he looks happy as Larry? There's no form of remorse. Happy. So I now say that people, the government, they need to look into these prison systems, because somewhere along the line, it's messed up. They've messed up somewhere along the line. These people have freedom. It's like they're not even in prison. It's like they're on holiday. So there's no remorse for the crime that they've committed. Meanwhile, the parents have to watch these people gloating, making fun, saying so many disrespectful things, and there's no repercussions for these actions. You see what I mean? There needs to be, they need to shake up the prison system, man. I'm sorry. The prison system needs a serious shake up. You see what I'm saying? Like, it does.
I agree with you still.
Yeah, only then will we then see maybe a change in the mindset. But as long as these people, these youths continue to go into prison because, you know, their friends have gone in, their best friends gone in, their friends gone in, and yeah, free them up. That's all I ever hear. Free them up. And I'm like, free up who? You just killed someone. Free them up. No, how about don't free you up? How about you rot in prison? How about that? Yeah, man. Sometimes I see their messages, and, you know, sometimes I'll keep quiet, but sometimes, man, I can't lie, man. I can't even hold my peace when I see them comments. I have to challenge some of them, and I challenge it by saying, all right, free them up. But how about if that person had killed someone, that a relative of yours? Will that free them up still stand? We still stand by those words? And that's the thing. That's the thing with the hypocrisy of a lot of these people, because it's not someone they know or a relative that's directly affected. It's easy. Anyone I could say free them up. No, you're there for a reason. Do your time. And when you do your time, make sure you learn from, you know, what you have done. But yeah, honestly, cuz, man, it's such a shame. When I saw this situation today with these 8 kids, man, I won't even say desensitized, but I was shocked, but I wasn't shocked, if that makes sense, because it's just, you just succumb to it now because it's just an everyday thing. There's no, and the thing is, I definitely blame the government, because when you take away the basic morals, the respect, the rights from the parents, you're going to have anarchy as an end result. Lawlessness is on the increase. There's no respect for the law. And, you know, they got themselves to blame because they're so disrespectful in, you know, the way that they deal with our people, but also people as a whole. You see some of the stuff that, you know, the atrocities that the police commit. And it's so sad. I don't judge all of them because, you know, as I said before, there are some, you know, genuine ones. I'd say barely a handful that, you know, truly believe in doing the right thing. But as I said, barely a handful. We see time and time again police brutality amongst our own people, not just our people, even, you know, sometimes you see even, you know, white people as well, they get treated away, but the majority of the time it's our people that, you know, end up getting the brunt of the brutality, whether it's, you know, being kicked, punched, dying in custody, you know, the police supplying, you know, fake evidence, just so much stuff. We see them time and time again abusing their position of power because they can. You see a lot of them, they're wearing body cam and they're still doing things that they're not supposed to do, even though they are fully aware that the body cam is being, you know, is currently recording. Everything that they say can be heard. So when you see this, you realize that these police officers are protected to the full extent of the law because they know that they can do these things and there's not really any repercussion. Yeah, we might hear of, you know, the police, them having some sort of, can't remember the name of the group that actually interview their own, but there's no deterrent. It takes a year for a person that applies to be a police officer to go through all the checks. And I'm talking like not a basic, enhanced DBS check or standard. I'm talking about fully enhanced, which means they do a background check on your criminal record, your background, family members, friends, even doing a credit check. So the checks are so intense that it takes a whole year. And the reason I know it takes a year is because when I was at work and I attended a job fair and I actually spoke to one of the police officers, one woman, and I said to her, you know, what's the criteria? And then she told me, I said, a whole year. She goes, yeah, because you're giving a lot of power to police officers. So we need to make sure that we're employing the right people. But I don't know if that's true because look, we see all the stuff that a lot of these police are doing, the corruption. You know, I remember seeing an article about the Met, you know, the publicity. It was a negative publicity that, you know, about the Met, all the failings and stuff like that. Does that what I mean? But yet these are the people that we're supposed to rely on to protect the public. There's no protection. A lot of these people, you know what I mean? They're damaging the public. If I'm being quite honest, you know what I mean? So unless there's a shake up in the police force, a shake up in the prison system, and crime is people that do these knife crimes are dealt with very severely. There's not going to be any change. What's going to change? Because I see it all the time, every single time, because I see someone that's gone in, and whether it's to do with county lines, killing someone, you always see a picture that's leaked in the papers of them standing up posing, so brazen. Yeah, light word, that's what I mean. And they're like this, they're smiling. Yeah, man, will be out in 20 years' time. You know why? Because there's something in that the prison systems is a form of entertainment. They come here and they can come out of their wing, they can walk up and down. They got PS5, they got Game Boy. It's madness, man. Take all this stuff away, and I'm telling you, you have a different mindset. I don't care who you are, unless you're some hard up, stubborn individual. But you go from having freedom to now having nothing. It's not going to be a place you're going to want to come back to. You know what I mean? I've only ever the lockdown, actually. When I did the lockdown and, I was told that I couldn't come out, I was like, raw. I felt restricted, man. I felt like my freedom had been taken away. So much more going in a place where you're spending a certain amount of time of your life behind bars. You know what I mean? Well, yeah. Yourself, Verbz, let me hear from you what you got to say.
Yeah, no, I do agree with a lot of what you're saying. However, what I would be careful of is, remember this situation in Southport. Just like what the guy was saying on the news coverage that I heard today, he kind of confirmed that it wasn't a gang-related incident. Do you know what I mean? Because people say,
no. Yeah, no, not even that. I was just speaking as a whole. Does that mean like?
Yeah. I hear what you're saying still. Do you know what I mean? But also, if we're going down that road now, you also got to remember a prison system is one thing, and from what I'm aware of, a prison system or a prison is meant to reform and what's the other word? There's another word. Rehabilitate people. Yeah. So they're supposed to have leisure time and stuff like that in there, be able to go out, be able to socialize and so on. I do believe that is a bit light in terms of people having PlayStations. Obviously there's situations that we've seen where the prison systems don't seem to be operating very organized because, female prison wardens have got time to pull their pants to the side and bend over and, take dick from an inmate. You know what I mean? Without being without being intervened. You know what I mean? Undisturbed. So there's a few factors, but at the same time, I think it's bigger than the prison sentence. I think there's a whole pot of things that need to be looked at with young people that are, getting involved in crime and going to prison and seeing or reoffending, being persistent repeat offenders. There's other things you got to look at, like bringing back youth centers. That's the key thing for me. You know what I'm saying? That place to go where people can go and access computers, have that supervised time where they can work on CVs or find a career path where even if they have come out of prison, you can put them in the building trade or security. Go and do security. Go get your card, that insurance card that you work for after you do your training. You know what I mean? You could be some kind of security. You can be some kind of builder, some kind of laborer, some kind of forklift driver. You know what I mean? Where you're earning quite decent money. So there's factors like that. Also, the government needs to be sorting out things like living circumstances. The councils ain't got nowhere to house people. They've made plans under various governments that they're going to build new homes for people, and the amount of people that's coming into the council and being eligible to get properties is very low because they have none. Do you know what I'm saying? You have to sort these things out. There's people there's tons of families, and I know you know some, cuz there's tons of families that have gone to the council, say like a mum, single mum, or a mum with a dad, gone to the council, they've got like 3 kids, and they've been put in like 1-bedroom properties or hotels or studio flats as temporary property, and they've been there for like 10 plus years, bruv, and still there. Do you get what I'm saying? What damage does that do to the young children now that are living there, that are under 10 years old, those 3 that haven't got their own bedroom, and they're in a studio flat, all laying on one bed, or there's mattresses spread out all over the floor? What mental health impact does that have on those young children? Are they going to grow up and be happy children that can manage their emotions and be able to go out, get their education, get further education, get a degree, and go out and work in the working world? No, they're not, because you've damaged them from the start. You know what I'm saying? Statistically, the traditional council housing estate, is that good for anybody's mental well-being? Most young people, no, it's not. Take a look at Angeltown Estate in Brixton, for instance. Yeah. It's a cesspit for crime, bruv. You know what I mean? I saw a documentary the other day with one of the geezers from the soup kitchen giving a guy a tour of Brixton. And when he's giving a guy a tour of Brixton, it's like an Asian guy, like a Chinese kind of guy. He's giving a tour of Brixton. And when he's giving him the tour of Brixton, cause I kid you not, they've got like a football pitch in there that them lot run. You know, Ham's brother.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that he runs. And when he was walking around, when the soup kitchen guy was walking around showing this Asian guy, you know, the football pitch and what everybody's doing to chip in for the community, there's memorials, like literally a stone throw away, like 3 of them, where it's got like R.I.P. Ronaldo or R.I.P. whoever, like where they've been stabbed like literally yards away from where young kids are playing football. It's a cesspit, bruv. You know what I'm saying? And if the government know that those places, as soon as if you have housing estates where police are reluctant to drive through day and night, why are you still housing people on those estates with young children?
Yeah.
One could argue you're sending them in there to die then, isn't it? The odds are stacked against you, innit?
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? It's stacked against you. You know? So at the end of the day, like how I see it, like you have to change certain things. How about schooling? Mainstream schooling is performing at an all-time low. A lot of people are trying to get their primary school children to do 11 plus so they're able to go to grammar school, because mainstream schooling is that poor. Because mainstream schooling is being flooded by people from other countries all over the world that don't speak English, that the school has to make classroom spaces for them. So teachers are now ended up with, instead of 25, 30 kids, they've got 40, and out of 40, 12 to 13 to 14, whatever of them, don't really speak fluent English. So they need extra attention, which means the kids that do speak English in there, that are willing to learn, get less attention, so they'll underachieve.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all part of the problem. If a child is underachieving in primary school because there's loads of other kids there from different countries, I'm not saying you shouldn't educate them. That is not what I'm saying, because I'm not one of them people that's banging on the Tommy Robinson drum. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just trying to say, like, you have to manage things carefully so they don't impact the opportunities for other young children. Because, for instance, if you have a young child that lives on the Angeltown estate, the odds are stacked against them. They're walking to the shop, they're walking to school, they play outside, they stand a chance of being killed. They should have the opportunity to be able to have a clear path at getting their education without politics, without overcrowding. They get that time where they can get their education, come out, be somebody, change the game, take their whole generation of family off that estate and live in somewhere else on an ordinary road, bruv.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree, man.
You know what I'm saying? But when you leave them in there, there's all kinds of barriers against them where they come out with no education and they're stuck there. Then they have children and they've developed the road mindset. And then those children grow up with the road mindset. And those children have children. And the shit just continues. So there's a lot of factors. You know what I mean? There's a lot of factors that this government needs to pay attention to and fix, and they know it. But the issue is they don't give a fuck. That's the problem. You know what I mean? You can't have people that will go to work and in their lunch break spend £1,000 on a bottle of wine or champagne to go with their caviar that they're eating. You can't have people like that trying to help poor people get through or escape environments and have better opportunities if those people that are MPs that drink drink £1,000 champagnes don't ever visit your area. Or they might visit quickly just to snip the ribbon that's of a new shop or a new supermarket that's in the area, but then they jump back in their car and they're gone within minutes. They don't stay there long enough to speak to the people and understand how the dynamics are impacting everyday families of every different type of culture, bruv. Because it's not just black people in those estates. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, every child wants to be a rap star. Even that. Yeah? You ask children in primary school, what do you want to be? I want to be a rap star. Or I want to be an influencer, a gamer. These things are unrealistic, bruv, because they're looking at quick opportunities to make money because they see the KSIs but it's not realistic, is it? Give them a path where they can get a career and be somebody, bruv.
Yeah, it's true. But I guess once again, if you've got a criminal record, you're very limited.
Well, this is it.
This is what I, constantly drum into the head of my older son. Does what I mean? Just making sure that as he gets older, he has he lives a crime-free life, doesn't get in trouble with the police.
But your son could be a good boy. All it takes is for him to hang around with people that live life on the edge a little bit, and then he gets caught up in a situation where it's like joint enterprise. You might not know that one of his friends is gonna stab somebody, or you might not know that one of his friends is gonna, I don't know, burn down a house with people in there that you don't like or something. Do you know what I'm saying? And then automatically your son is implicated in the madness and ends up with a prison sentence and a criminal record where he can't get past it. And there's cases of that too. So if you live in the areas, those type of areas where they're challenging, they're impoverished, you will find there's a higher chance that you're going to end up hanging around with people that influence you negatively.
Message.
Yeah, true.
You understand?
Yeah.
So,
Facts, yeah.
These are things that the government is bigger than, to me, it's bigger than the prison system. Much bigger. How about we do things to not get them there in the first place? How about we do things that if they do get there, you've got a program in place. Like, for instance, if I owned a prison, I would ensure that there was a list of supermarkets, a list of building merchants or builders companies where when these young people come into prison, they can do their CV, they can do their interview techniques and all that kind of stuff and learn that in prison. And I've got links with all these builders, merchants and supermarkets or whatever. And all these companies agree or sign the contract with me where they will ensure that 10 or 20% of their staff team will consist of ex-convicts who want to change their lives.
Yeah, I like the sound of that still.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What you're doing is making them come to jail, allowing them to live their lifestyle in jail, play PlayStation, bang some of the female screws, make a drone come and drop off drugs and the shop food in there, because some of the screws sniff heroin, so they'll allow them to do it. You know what I mean? You're doing all these kind of things, and then they go for their parole or whatever, they get released, and you allow them back out on the road. Even when you allow them back out on the road, their brethren are outside waiting in a hired Rolls Royce and spraying champagne on them. Yo, man's home, blood, man's home. And all them kind of things they're like, it's fucking paid in full in America and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all that, bruv. Like, and then you allow them to go back on the road with nothing. Where's the direction? What's the plan? What's this guy gonna do now? Is he gonna go home, sit and bury his head in the pillow for a bit? He's gonna come out, try to find Pum Pum first, yeah? And he's gonna get his hair cut. He's gonna try and buy some clothes. He's gonna have to lay mellow for a while, but all of his brethren are out driving big whips while he's got no whip. You get me? Yeah? And his brethren are handling food and they're gonna be like, yo, brother, man. Oh, that, man, I see you're struggling and I know you want some money and them thing there because you're always rolling with me, but oh, that, man, and just work that and then give me my bit and take your bit and he's in the game, bro.
Doing it. Yeah, that's what they're doing it.
Yeah, you gotta give them a path, bruv. Give them an opportunity. As soon as they come out, bam, they're on some kind of training.
Yeah.
You get me? As soon as they come out, bam, some kind of training. As soon as they finish the training, bam, there's opportunities for them to go and get into the workforce. Regardless of their prison sentence, you're out of prison, we'll do a meeting with you, an interview with you, assess you and find out if you are really a reformed character and we'll hire you on a month-to-month basis according to a performance contract, according to how you get me? After a year of your performance contract, bruv, we'll see that you reform, you're not getting nicked by the police, because if you are a person that's not reformed and you come out of jail and then you do get a job, so if someone works for your company, Genius, I guarantee you, even though you'd say, how are you getting on since you've been out of prison? I've been fine. You're keeping yourself out of trouble. Yeah, man, of course I have. But if they're lying, there's going to be a good few days or a good few weeks, bruv, where when you expect that person to come to work, they're not going to turn up. Why? Because the police got them and they're in a cell again, bruv.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So it's going to show its ugly head anyway. If they stay out of that situation for a year, they'll reform, bruv. Give them another opportunity. All right, we was doing a month to month. This time I'm going to give you a 6-month contract. Then you get a year. Then after that, your contract's open, man, according to when. You get me? Give them something to, and then you move them up the ladder. You was working, you was just doing the shows at the back or whatever, not. You get me? Now you can go in to be a supervisor. Now you can go out to do this. Now you can go. They'll change their life, bruv. You gotta have a plan.
Yeah.
With no plan, it goes down the pan. And that's what the government has left a lot of these young people and people, adults in these situations. They come out to nothing. Just struggle, poverty, no money, no opportunities, don't even know your own talents. Baby mothers that you've bred before you went in your ears telling them that you gotta give them money. It's just bare problems, blood. You get me?
Yeah.
So, like I said, needs to be a plan. And you can't have a plan unless you've got MPs and government officials that understand where you come from and know what to do to help you get from one place to another and develop and grow and become somebody.
Well said.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, well said.
So yeah, then you'll continue to have these problems. You know what I mean? Mental health people stabbing each other or gang-related people stabbing each other. All of these things, bruv. Give people things to do. Open up youth centers. Give people opportunities where it's safe to do so. They can be supervised. You'll never ever stop crime. You'll never ever stop knife crime. Because knife crime was around from when I was a youth. From when you was a youth. From when our parents first come here, there was knife crime. And then you got these English muppets on the internet saying, oh, our country's going to the pot. There's knives everywhere. Mate, let's not get it twisted. Before there was the Jamaican influence or the African influence or the Albanian influence or the Romanian influence or the Irish influence of people stabbing each other. Let's get it right. White man was stabbing each other for a long time, bruv. Long time. You hear me? Yeah. Englishman fighting whoever with Stanley knife and them thing there. You understand? Butcher knife and all them things. I grew up seeing it, bruv. I've seen bare white man wet up another white man, bruv. I've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen that, man.
No one can't tell me nothing. No one can't tell me nothing. So when all these muppets are coming in and saying, oh, the foreigners, you're just pissed because it's people of brown colour doing it now. But while they're doing it, you're still doing it. Just like these English patriotic muppets are moaning about the situation in Manchester with the police the other day. Don't get me wrong, those guys are out of order for what they done, innit? You know what I'm saying? But you're moaning about these people coming here and attacking your police force and the police should be heavily armed. while you're arguing about it, you're ignoring the fact that Tommy Robinson and his granddad bastard clan are flipping running around beating up your same police force, but you don't talk about that, do you? You know what I mean?
Crazy, yeah, it's crazy.
Let's make it make sense, man. You know what I mean? Jesus, peace. You know? So,
yeah.
I know, because it's a very sad occasion. It's a very bad, sad, depressing day to hear what's happened to these kids. My heart goes out to the families, like you said, the people that work in that establishment, the locals that had to see that shit, the parents, I don't know, everybody that's in association with that incident, even down to the police that had to turn up, the ambulance, paramedics that had to turn up and sort that out, like, you know, a hospital staff. My heart goes out to all of them, man. It's not a pretty thing to see. It's not nice at all. We don't know what the total body count is for these young kids, and to be fair, I'd rather not know, but we're going to find out if there's more in it. You get me? No, whoever that person is, whatever color they are, just let justice do justice appropriately, bro. That's how I see it. If that constitutes that person deserves a 30-year prison sentence, regardless of what color they are, give them the sentence. Regardless of mental health, give them the sentence. Because regardless of whether you got mental health, I know we could say it's not their fault if they got mental health, but somebody's got to pay the price, bro. You got to make a statement somewhere.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
And then after you make that person pay the price and you send that statement, the government needs to address how absolutely shit their mental health services is. Because there's loads of people that's got mental health that are walking around free and unsupervised and are able to inflict damage on the public and then call out mental health cards after. Why is that? When you're trying to get a family member that you know, or a friend that you know, or a neighbor that you've seen, you're trying to get them assessed by the mental health services. What does the mental health tell you? The mental health services tell you in response, I'm sorry, there's not enough leg room for us to assess them. We can only assess them if they cause significant risk to themselves or significant risk to others. So in other words, for you that don't know, you have to wait until that person either tries to self-harm or take their life, or they try to take the life of somebody else in public. Why does it need to wait for that before somebody is diagnosed with mental health and gets the appropriate treatment to be able to move past that?
Yeah, I agree. Powerful points.
You know what I'm saying? What kind of system is that, bruv? Yeah? That's like me saying, as a prime minister, I'm making a new law where, although firearms are illegal, you can carry firearms, but as long as I can't arrest you until you discharge your weapon at yourself or discharge your weapon at the member of the public.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. You're telling me you can have it parked up in your house or have it in your possession and walk around as a public risk, but until you discharge, they can't be arrested.
Yeah,
it's stupid,
something's wrong, man.
You get me?
Yeah.
It's mad. So, you know, the system in Britain is completely broken. It's shit. It's rubbish. It takes care of nobody, bruv. You know what I mean? Don't take care of nobody, bruv. You gotta make sure you got your own situations set up nicely in order to allow yourself to be able to live good and in order to get your kids an education and slip through the net and beat all these stupid hurdles that are in the way in everyday life, bruv. The system is just against many people. It's not just black people. It's more against black people, definitely. But the system is against loads of people, bruv. There's white people out here who, I used to work with families. There's white people out here that are broke, bruv. Beyond belief. When you go to their house, bruv, and you see like their families and stuff like that and how they're living, cause if you're not strong-minded enough, you might just cry.
Yeah, I believe so, man. It's true.
You get me? You might just cry, bruv. Estates that look derelict. They're living in the middle of it, bruv. It's mad.
Man, yeah.
And this is what this government has allowed to happen. There's people you seen on the internet, cuz you seen like there's people that are homeless that have turned bus shelters into houses, bruv.
No, man, I've not seen that. That's madness.
Yeah, like enclosed off the bus shelter, and they've got their bed and all that set up in there. From time this government and to me anyway, from time this government and the councils even had the nerve to even endorse shipment container homes, you know they fucked up.
Yeah.
You seen them, guys?
Shipment containers.
Shipment container homes and big metal shipment containers.
No, I haven't, I can't lie.
Yeah, sometimes they've got estates of them, bruv.
I'm gonna go look and research. I may have seen it and not even know. That's concerning.
Mad.
Bearing in mind that we are out there spending money on Ukraine.
Yeah, there you go. You know what I'm saying? Arms. You can spend all this big money on arms, but then your own people are homeless. There's old people, old, white, British, patriotic people in England who were involved close enough to the war or had family members with the war or were children of the war, bruv.
Yeah.
In this country that have put every piece of money that they've earned towards the taxes, bruv. You understand? They've put into the system. Now they're old. You've left them in a care home with shit service, bruv. Shit food, shit quality of life, but they're being disrespected now, bruv. In the last years that they're supposed to be able to smile and feel a little bit free before they go, blood. And this country just extracts finances out of you like mad. And when you're too old to work and you start to have health issues, you end up in a care home where the staff in there are allowed to abuse you, blood. You hear me?
Yeah.
Unregulated homes, bro.
Mad.
It's mad. But I don't know, cuz I'm ranting too much, man. I don't know, but I'll let you take the wheel, man. Shit. You know what I mean?
Boy, I just, they've caught this guy now anyway, and I just understand why there's a delay in revealing the identity of this person. You know?
You don't understand why?
I said I don't understand, just what I mean, like why, if every newspaper article has covered it, so, you know what I mean? The person's done this wickedness, man. They need to put him out on blast immediately. Without no delay.
So we do a live guess. And then obviously after this recording, when it comes out, people will know whether one of us is right or wrong.
I already have a feeling, I know.
What do you think?
What, the race?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
You're afraid to say it?
Man. No, I believe it's a Caucasian.
Yeah, I believe that too.
Caucasian 100%. Male.
Yeah, if it's not a Caucasian, I'll be damned. I'll be shocked. But I think it's a Caucasian, especially for the mere fact that that person has done that and they haven't been shot dead by the police. You know what I mean? Yeah, which is the same situation with the geezer in Hainault with the sword, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he was a white man, Brazilian white man. You know what I mean? And he didn't get shot, but he was able to 75% decapitate a 14-year-old's head. You know what I mean? And drag him in the road like he was when you kill a deer and you just drag it and dash it to the side and leave it in the road for everyone to see. That's what he done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Chopped a policewoman as well, all that, and all the police came and they still didn't shoot him. Their excuse was when he was arrested, the armed response was on the way, but they got there just a little bit too late. Bruv, if he weren't a white man, bruv, armed response would have been there before he could even swing his sword, homeboy. Trust me.
Double standards, you know what I mean? It's not right, man.
100%. And there's going to be people saying, oh, you're bringing the race card into things. No, it's not. It's facts. We can sit down there and I did a video on Instagram one time going through about the Haynote thing and the man not being shot when they detained him. And I gave an example of just 3. I could have went through more, but I gave an example of 3 black men in situations where they were no risk to the public at the time of arrest, and they're all deceased.
Madness.
So if you want to draw the race card, go look up them facts.
Boy. I just want to see an end to all this, man. You know, we definitely in the end times. I'll tell you that though, for a fact. Definitely, sure. Man. Yeah, we're in the end times, man. Someone else was saying the same thing. This is horrific what's going on. Kids killing kids.
A lot of people say that though. But I just think is that I'm not saying there ain't ungodliness because we're seeing that, but I just think the government and the so-called leaders of this time or whatever, they're just allowing certain things to happen. You know what I mean? But, you know, if they carry on with it, I do think God will just come and just clean up the planet, bruv.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Boy. My prayers go out to each and every one of the family members, those that have lost children, those that were injured. And I pray for speedy healing for every one of those children. I pray that, you know, they get the help that they need, because obviously that's going to be traumatizing their kids. So you could just imagine the mental scar. That's what the psychological scar that is going to leave or imprint on their lives as they get older. It's not right, man. It's not right at all.
Definitely. And the bottom line of any opinions that I may have, because my opinions can be a bit spicy, but the bottom line of this whole situation is I don't care where you come from. I don't care what race you are. Like I said, I don't care what differences we have. Yeah. Nobody should be left. No group of people, no individual, nobody should be left in a position where they are vulnerable and they are subjected to being attacked by a maniac with a knife.
Yeah.
These knives shouldn't be on the road. They should be controlled, even if that means more stop and search, which I'm against to some extent because police abuse stop and search powers. But at the same time, in times like this, I don't really give a fuck. Whoever wants to be pissed because they're being stopped and searched, well, you're just gonna have to be pissed. I just think it's about the police being able to manage it right, where it doesn't look like it's being used for discriminative purposes. But everything needs to be implemented to make sure these knives are they're managed where no less people are being hurt by them. Yeah, young people cannot feel, young people and adults should never ever have been in a position where they could park a, 3-foot machete down their trouser leg and walk the street in public amongst other innocent citizens. That should have never happened in the first place. Never. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is a massive risk. If that person gets upset by anybody and they can't manage their anger issues and an innocent person walks past with their children and that person decides to swing at whoever because they're angry at the highest state, it's a problem. You know what I mean? And that should never be allowed. And I think everything in the powers needs to happen to ensure that this culture of walking around with these big knives is dealt with and fast.
I agree.
For the protection of people, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree. 100%.
You know?
Boy. Yeah. So, Bob, have you got any additional stuff you want to add?
I'm good, you know, man, unless you have, mate.
No, but boy, So I want to, my final thing I want to add is, yeah, parents, you know, please, man, make it your duty to, if you're not already, get deeply involved in your children's lives. Get to understand their associations. Get to understand what what they get up to when you're not around. Try and, yeah. And if you're the kind of parents that are paying for the phone bill, make it your business to do just a random spot check. Just, oh yeah, let me see your phone. Don't even give any notice. Just randomly, can I have a look at your phone, please? Element of surprise, and check the contents of that phone. Check the messages, check the galleries, and just get to understand and see. So a lot of the times, certain things that these youths do can be traced on their mobile phone. Because we're in a time now where people like to video stuff and post stuff up on social media. That's what I mean. But likewise, my son, I know the password. And you as a parent, make sure you got the password to your children's phones. If you're paying the bill and you bought the phone, there shouldn't even be no question. There shouldn't be no question. There shouldn't be no hesitation. I want to see that phone now. Because if you can get to see and understand the stuff that they're doing now, you can maybe intervene before it gets to a place of no return. We are losing a generation of youth to foolishness. They're the next generation. If the next generation is wiped out, there's no legacy. Who now carries on the family name? Because I was watching a documentary, when was it? Yes, I was watching something yesterday, and the person was saying that the brother died. A year later, the other brother died. Then the cousin in East London died. And I'm like, what the hell? Just imagine being a parent you've lost one son just to know that you've lost two sons. And then through the family, and it's all to do with all same thing, knife related. And this is the thing, none of us would hope and pray that, you know what, this doesn't happen to us. But the thing is, the way it is now, it could be anybody. We have to be at a place where we can say, you know what, we've done our utmost best to make sure that we've done everything possible to safeguard these children. We're checking phones. We're making it our business to get to know their associations. We're making sure that they're leaving this house and not got any weapons on them. We have to do these things, because if we don't do these things and it looks like it comes across as a chore and it's too much, God forbid, man, but people are burying kids daily, man, and it's not nice. If we can do our part, something is better than nothing. We have to start from somewhere. Do you see what I mean? And I say starts from home. We cannot rely on these politicians. We cannot rely on the police force. Yeah? It starts from home, man. We need to take back, we need to take back our children, man, and educate them and let them know that, you know what, you're here for a purpose. You're not here just to be here for a minute and then lose your life, through knife crime or gun crime. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I wanted to add, man. Verbz, anything else?
Yeah, I just want to add quickly, parents, as Genius said, which I agree with, everything that you're saying is right. But what I'd like to add is we're living in a time where we all have to look in the mirror as parents and understand we're too soft. Understand? We're negotiating with children to the point where we've allowed children to have too much of a voice. They're not equipped. They're not wise enough. They're not smart enough to have too much of a voice. You can't be in a time where you as a parent sees a child do something, you put down a consequence, or when you put in that consequence, the child is standing there telling you that they disagree with that consequence. That cannot happen. We're all guilty of it. Whether some of us are a little bit better at managing our children, and some of us are completely shit, but we're all guilty of it. The time now is to make sure you build your youths a certain way where you're the parent. The line is drawn in the sand. One side is parent, one side is children. If you're standing on the parent side, don't blur that line, don't smudge that line. Operate in a fashion where you are the parent. Make the child understand that they are a child. Yeah? Simple little things. When you're talking as adults in the room, whether the children are present or not, they should never feel that they are free enough to jump in and answer your question or even get involved. They should know their place.
100%.
We allow them too much. Yeah? I've got to a point now where every time my kids jump in, I'm like, who called your name? Sorry, Dad, but I said, who called your name? Sorry, Dad, but I don't want to hear no reasons. There's no reasonings here. No one called your name. My face was facing your mum when I was talking. It wasn't facing you. Did you hear your name call? No, Dad, but if you didn't hear your name call, shut the know your place. You understand? That's the point where I'm at now. Because too much freedom, too much of a kid's voice will make these kids, when they're hitting 12, 13, 14 years of age, and you tell them they can't go outside because there's some massacre shit going on out there, your kid will stare you in the face, use the same door key you gave them to let themselves in and out of school with, open the door and walk out, even though you told them not to. You understand?
Yeah.
Gain control before it's too late, blood. I'm gaining control. My kids are starting to understand properly that don't play. If you push the boundaries, there's going to be some serious repercussions. And if it even gets to a point where you're not listening to me and I have to save your life, and by saving your life or teaching you something, I have to put my hands on you to make you know, I'm sorry. I'm not afraid to do it, blood. No government ain't telling me that my child is going to run things and put themselves at 80% of a risk when I know if I have to put my hands on you, that risk goes down to 5 or 10. I know which one I'm choosing. This is about preserving my youth's life, bruv. And the government ain't going to make me allow my child to walk out into the flames and fire because they've made me become brainwashed to the point where I have no control. It's not going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So understand what's going on here. Because there's weirdos out on the street that are awaiting, that are preparing for laws to change across the globe. Yeah? Where a child is going to eventually be able to tell you, it doesn't matter if you don't approve of my relationship with this 50, 60-year-old man. I want to be with him. And you can't say nothing, bruv. Because you let your child have too much of a voice. So I'm bringing things back where if I tell my child, no, you're not going with that person, mate, because if you do, me and you are going to end up fighting for me to keep you safe and not make you be abused, exploited, and mentally damaged. You understand?
Yeah.
A child would never understand that you as a parent is implementing that to save them. Children are so immature, no matter how smart and intelligent they are at paperwork, they're so immature that when you're giving them rules, they feel you're giving them rules just to control them. They don't believe there's a method behind it. They don't believe you're trying to safeguard them. They think you just want to control them. You understand?
Yeah.
You have to show them your rules are so strong and you're willing to uphold them so much because I care about you. And when you become an adult and you look back, because when you allow them to do what they want to do, you might think it's easy now, but at some point when they become an adult, they're going to come to you and be like, Mum or Dad, when I chose to go out with that old man and you told me no, and I still did it, you didn't stop me. That old man raped me for 10 years of my life. I blame you.
Yeah.
So you're not going to escape the responsibility, you know, or the finger pointing. But let me take the finger pointing and be in class as the enemy now to preserve my child's safety and preserve my child's innocence. Then I don't get the finger pointing later. I get the respect later.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Well, Verbz. Yeah, man. It's always a pleasure, man, working with you. People.
Because you don't know.
Yeah. People. This is myself signing out. The Genius Man.
And I'm signing out. Verbz. Peace, people.
Yeah, till the next time. Triggered Thoughts.
Triggered Thoughts podcast.
You know what I'm asking for? Listening to the Triggered Thoughts podcast, blood.